Hey everybody, welcome to another DW Plays video. This time I'm taking a look at Quake 64. This is the Nintendo 64 version of Quake. More specifically, what you're seeing here is the version that is included with the Quake remastered version that's on Steam. And although you had to download it from the add-ons section when you go into that. But it's basically just a slightly alternate version of Quake. It was cut down a bit to work on the Nintendo 64. What you're seeing here has the CRT emulation, so it looks like it has scan lines and such. Personally, it actually kind of hurts my eyes to look at, so I won't be playing this for too horribly long here, probably just a level or two. But Quake 64, it's just Quake, but with some slight changes to the levels so that it will work on Nintendo 64. So there's not a huge amount to talk about there. They did replace the Trent Reznor soundtrack, unfortunately, with an ambient noise situation. I believe it was done by the same guy who did Doom 64's soundtrack, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I'd have to double check there. But since this is just a slightly alternate version of the original Quake, I didn't feel like it was necessary to do a review or MTO or a Redux or anything like that, specifically for this version. So I wanted to show it off anyway, though, just so you can get an idea what it's like and see if it's something you might want to mess around with if you happen to have the remastered version of Quake on Steam, which if you had Quake on Steam already, then you have the remastered version. And frankly, it is the best way to play the game now. So we're just going to go ahead and get this started here. And of course, I did select the hard mode because we're old school like that. And since I do have keyboard and mouse controls even on the Nintendo 64 version here, it makes actually playing it, well, doable. Playing this on a Nintendo 64 controller is a bit rough. Obviously, you can't do that on the PC version of this release, but man, I do not miss what CRTs did to the image quality. Let's put it that way. There are some games that actually do look better on a CRT because they were specifically designed for it, but most games really don't. So I'm glad that technology is a bit outdated and outphased, although unfortunately, we do have the problem of a lot of games being designed for 4x3 resolutions, and needless to say, that is really not great. But we're just going to go ahead and continue our quad rampage here, because we can. Makes it easy to just clear out the rest of the level here. And then we can go back and get the secrets and such. Now, it is slightly different from the PC version. I mean, if you've played the PC version, you know that there's a secret area up there where I'm aiming right now, and there isn't one in this version. But other than that, it's remarkably similar. I mean, there's a secret wall here like there should be. But we're just going to continue on here. And I think we'll go through the next level as well, just so you can get an idea what it's like. Now, of course, when it comes to Quake, this is not my favorite in the series, of course. The favorite in the series is Quake 2. And if you saw my yearly teaser, you know that I am working on a Redux for that. So stay tuned. The super shotgun. Mainstay of the Quake arsenal, of the Doom arsenal, of any arsenal worth having, really. You gotta have a double-barreled shotgun, and it has to be powerful. If it's not powerful, it's just not right. But yeah. This is an interesting game to look at. The Quake 264 is interesting to look at because it is different from the original version on PC, but other than that, it's I wouldn't say it's so different that it's that you're going to tell a massive difference. I mean, if you've played a lot of the original Quake, you will notice the differences. Like, there's a slight difference in the level geometry there, but it's it's still pretty much the same stuff. You're still fighting the same enemies, you're still fighting, you know, the same bosses and all that kind of stuff. It's just slightly different, so it works on a console. And it's interesting to see the kind of limitations that that kind of stuff imposed on games of the time. And I mean, the Nintendo 64 version did not run very well either, so that doesn't help. I do not fear the grenade launcher to the face. Nor do I fear these things. I cannot remember what they're called, honestly. I can't remember what most of the enemies are called in this game, to be perfectly honest with you. I just know what they are and what their capabilities are. Because I have played quite a bit of Quake. But it's mostly E1 that I've played a ton of. I never actually had a copy of Quake 1 back in the day. At least not the full version, I should say. I had the shareware version. But I never had the full version until much, much later on. So I don't have the same kind of nostalgia that people have for Quake 1 that you tend to see from people in the so-called boomer shooter space. I like it, don't get me wrong, and I appreciate it for its technical aspects and such, but I mean, I just prefer Quake 2. I just enjoy it quite a bit more. There's a secret area over here. And apparently I can't shoot for crap today, which is a bit unfortunate. Now, I don't remember all of the secrets in the original Quake, unfortunately. But, you know, I don't remember the secrets in any of id Software's old games, to be perfectly honest with you. Some good old nail gun action here. Because why not? Doesn't help I keep moving directly into the teleporters there. And not really paying attention to it. I should probably do better about that. Oh well. At any rate, we're about at the end of the level here, so I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you find this version of the game interesting to take a look at. I don't really plan on doing anything else with Quake 264, or not Quake 264, sorry, Quake 164. Quake 264 I do plan on doing more with, because it is actually a significantly different version than Quake 164 was. Quake 164, like I said, is just a slightly cut down version of the original Quake. But Quake 264 is pretty much a completely different game, which makes it really interesting. But at any rate, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want to give this a try yourself, I'll throw a link in the video description box where you can grab the remastered version of Quake. It is well worth playing, even if it's just for the original game and both of its mission packs, which are Scourge of Armagon and Dissolution of Eternity, but they also included a couple of extra campaigns, which is really great, so you get tons of content for it. It's pretty cheap. It runs really well on a huge variety of systems. They brought back the multiplayer and even included bot support for it. So, all of that, very cool to see. Very glad that they did all of that and didn't just leave Quake in the so-called dustbin of history. But again, hope you all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon. If you can't afford to or don't want to, that's perfectly fine. I understand, but the option's there if you're interested, and every bit does help. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in later videos.